Are you curious about the luxury neighborhoods in Summerlin? Today we'll be discussing all the wonderful communities that have been built over the years. Hello, I'm Randy.char, President and Broker of Las Vegas Sotheby's International Realty and a longtime resident of Summerlin. I'm happy to share with you all the great things that are happening in this community from the 90s all the way to the present. So let's get started. There are a handful of beautiful custom home communities that are classic Summerlin. You know, Summerlin was built back more or less starting in the 90s. It was the #1 master plan selling community in the United States for many, many years. Home to 60,000 families, it spans over 22,500 acres, and there are pocket communities that are guard gated that they were developed with the intention of really serving the upscale market. The first one I'd like to talk to you about is Willow Creek. Now Willow Creek is near downtown Summerlin. It is 300 homes, of which 80 of them are custom. What is it known for? It has 2 tennis courts, basketball court, 12-acre park, and is near one of the most prestigious private elementary schools, Dawson. 3 of the communities inside the guard gate of Willow Creek are built by Toll Brothers and Pulte. Pulte being all single story and Toll Brothers being a combination of the two. There's also an enclave of 80 home sites that were custom built. Most of them were 1/4 acre to third, a little over a 1/3 acre. But what they share about this is a 24-hour patrol, beautiful parks, as I said, tennis courts, basketball court, and the location is extremely central to downtown Summerlin, to Alexander Dawson School, and it's an easy ride to the 215 to get you down to the Strip. So Willow Creek, again, is just very central into Summerlin, and for those reasons, many people of all sorts love to live there. And because of the central location, Willow Creek really is convenient to, again, downtown Summerlin. It's a quick jaunt to 215, which will take you down to the Strip, and it's near the hiking and everything else that is involved. Currently, there are 2 active listings in Willow Creek, and last year in 2023, they sold 6 homes ranging from a low of $749,000 to a high of $2.1 million. So you can see the range there is definitely upscale, but not uber luxury. So it's accessible to many people that want to live in a guard gated neighborhood and be very convenient to everywhere in Summerlin. Next, in the northern part of Summerlin, there are several communities that really stand out. The first one I'd like to talk about is Eagle Hills. This is one of my personal favorites, 153 homes. This is a highly sought after community where many people know about it, and it's known for really the green parks and the canopy trees, and truly the custom feel that as you drive through the neighborhood, it feels like not necessarily what you would think in Vegas, but something that's a neighborhood that's extremely lush in landscaping, and many people love it for the location that it has. It's convenient to shopping, it's next to the TPC golf course, but what's really known is for the robust kind of community nature inside of Eagle Hills. They have some of the most, let's just say, lavish Halloween parties that you would ever imagine. There's thousands of people that flood the streets. Last year, walking around, there was an In-N-Out burger truck. There was entertainment in the streets. It just truly is a community feel. People really go all out to decorating during the holidays. You can tell that the people that live in Eagle Hills are extremely proud to be part of that community. Now, Eagle Hills has 2 active listings currently, 1 under contract, and in 2023 had 5 sales. The low sale was $1.7 million, and the high was $4.8 million. These are typically 1/3 to 1/2 acre lots, and the homes start around the 3,000 square foot range and range over 7,000 feet, but I'd say the bulk of them are about 5,000 feet. That's kind of the sweet spot for Eagle Hills. Now, Country Club Hills has 180 home sites. It's a semi-custom product built by Christopher Homes, which is definitely a luxury builder that's been around the valley for many decades. It's conveniently located right next to TPC in downtown Summerlin, and it's extremely accessible to jump on Summerlin Parkway and head towards the Strip. What we've had here is 1 active sale currently and 5 sales in 2023, ranging from $1,072,000 to $1.9999 million. So you can see again in a pocket where it's upscale to kind of the upscale luxury market. And if you want to live in a golf course community, this is possibly something that you might want to check out. Tournament Hills is one of the original, truly custom neighborhoods in Summerlin. Built in the 90s, this community features half-acre lots, so with that amount of space, the homes were built were very sizable. In some cases, we've seen homes from, let's say, about 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 square feet, spanning almost up to 50,000 square feet. Yes, you heard that right. Almost a 50,000 square foot home that was built recently on the golf course. These mega mansions that are in Tournament Hills really set kind of course for what was going to be coming in Summerlin over the years. Tournament Hills is highly sought after because of its adjacent location next to the TPC golf course, which is home to the PGA Tour. Thousands and thousands of people come every year to watch the tournament, and as you play through the tournament, you can see that these huge mansions that are overlooking the golf course really make a nice backdrop. But more so, during the year, people love the fact that it's in such close proximity to this wonderful golf course, as well as it has meandering parks and basketball courts, truly one of the original guard-gated neighborhoods that is highly sought after. In terms of activity in Tournament Hills, there are 3 active sales currently now, and there were 4 sales last year in 2023, ranging from $1.45 million to $7.6 million. And one thing to note, because of the age that these communities are built, many times people buy these homes at a certain price, but then they really spend a lot of money to renovate them. So what's significant about these kind of classic communities is when homes sell, many times they're turnkey, but many times they're not turnkey. These homes obviously are a little bit older, so many homeowners, they love this community, but they take the home and immediately spend a lot of effort renovating, putting additions on them, expanding the home because of the value of the neighborhood. Next, we have Canyon Fairways. Canyon Fairways is 153 custom homes located on the TPC Summerlin Vegas course. So not the private course, but the public course. It's still a beautiful place, has a clubhouse and amenities, and the golf course is next to these custom homes. Canyon Fairways is also conveniently located right down the street from the JW Marriott. So if you are a casino lover, or you love to go to the casino, this is a perfect location for you. And then up the street the other direction, you're very convenient to the Summerlin Hospital and other amenities. Now, Canyon Fairways has always been known, again, as a custom neighborhood that has lush green landscaping. It has tennis courts, walking trails, and it's more of a private enclave, off of a surface street. So there's not a ton of traffic that goes by the community. Homes range from $1.18 million to $3.715 million in terms of the sales last year. And of the communities, this probably had the most activity in terms of sales. It sold 15 homes against most of the communities that were selling maybe a half a dozen. Currently on the market, there are 5 listings and 1 under contract. Next, we'll talk about a brother-sister community called Desert Trails and Mountain Trails. Now, Desert Trails, back when Summerlin developed this way back in the 90s, was one of the most affordable custom communities that you can buy. They were 1/4 acre, so they were a little bit more compact in size, and therefore the homes from a custom nature, if you wanted something that was custom yet affordable, Desert Trails might have been the place that you built. Only 56 homes in there, so it's a quaint neighborhood, and the homes range from about 3,000 square feet on up, and sales start from about $1 million on up. Now, Mountain Trails is a little larger. They're half-acre home sites, 103 of them that they built, guard-gated neighborhood, whereas Desert Trails is just gated. Mountain Trails, like many other communities, looks fully custom, and again, driving down the street, it's absolutely beautiful. It's green, you wouldn't know you're in Vegas again, and homes range from there from really about $2 to $3 million on up. So next is Belissaire, built by Christopher Homes. Now, these 54 home sites are about 1/3 acre in size and up, and it's in a very central location of Summerlin. What made it very interesting is it came off the heels of a very popular community built called the Palisades. Now, the Palisades is a guard-gated neighborhood of semi-production, semi-custom homes that range from about 4,000 square feet to 5,500 square feet. During that time, some of the customers asked or demanded, hey, if we want to go larger, where could we build? And maybe that's why they created 𝗤𝗛𝗄𝗂. So it's a combination of Christopher homes that were modified and enlarged, as well as truly individual custom homes. So it's a combination of that two custom home element. Homes in there range from about $2-3 million, and they go up to about $5 million. Home sizes, you're going to see about 4,000 square feet up to about 10,000 square feet, and many of them do back to the golf course of TPC Summerlin, Vegas. Red Rock Country Club is one of the highest sought after communities currently in the marketplace today. Why is it so popular? First of all, it's home to not only a private course, 18-hole, but a public course called the Arroyo. So the private is called the Mountain Course, the public is called Arroyo. It's right next to downtown Summerlin, and it sits right against these beautiful mountains, and they actually uplight the mountains at nighttime, so it makes it a very interesting backdrop if you live there. In fact, this is one of the most favorite places I personally live, and currently also have a golf membership. And one of the reasons I really love it, it has a clubhouse with a restaurant. And it also has tennis courts, stadium tennis court, fitness center, spa. And on the other hand, the golf course clubhouse is absolutely wonderful. And in fact, if you like to get married there or have a function, they do rent out their clubhouse for functions, and people love it because of the view and just the space that it has. So Red Rock Country Club is divided into two gates. You have the East Gate and you have the West Gate. In both communities, you have homes that were built originally by the original developer called Sunrise, as well as Toll Brothers. There are also homes that are built custom under a triple gated community that's on Red Arrow Drive. And these homes are about 80 homes, are mostly made up of the larger homes that might range up to about 10,000 square feet. So very, very large, 4,000, 10,000 square feet. Whereas the bulk of Red Rock Country Club is typically between 2,000 square feet to 5,000 square feet. So you can see it serves quite a range. And again, one of the hottest communities that people are picking up today. Let's talk about the stats. At Red Rock Country Club, you have 10 active listings currently, 3 under contract, and a whopping 43 sales that occurred last year between $891,000 and $3.85 million. So definitely upscale into the luxury market, but probably tops out around the $4 or $5 million range in most cases. Now, while we're talking about Red Rock Country Club, let's talk about golf and what type of golf course that Red Rock Country Club sits on. Definitely one of the top courses in Vegas. I wouldn't call it an elite golf course. They do have a private membership and they have a public element to it. It's very player friendly, but one of the things that people really love about the club or the golf course is that it backs to the mountain, and therefore there are many holes that have a lot of elevation. In fact, the #1 handicap hole, which is a par 5, hole number 5, is straight uphill all the way to the mountain. And when you get to the top of the mountain on the green and you look back, you have this panoramic view of the entire strip, which is pretty awesome. Also, at nighttime, they backlit the mountains against the golf course. So if you live there and you're looking over the golf course, absolutely gorgeous. Next, let's discover a community called the Ridges. Now, many people that lived in Las Vegas know of the Ridges for its elite homes that have been built. Originally, when it was designed by Howard Hughes, what they were aiming for is a Frank Lloyd Wright inspired community. What does that mean? More or less, what it means is they really wanted to push forward modern architecture, and it was always hillside, more of a desert feel, so it's not as lush as some of the original communities of Summerlin. In fact, it's quite a contrast. This was up on the hill. A lot of them have great views. There is a golf course, Jack Nicklaus Bear's Best Golf Course, that is on the community. What I also will tell you is that the Ridges is home to some of the most kind of, let's just say, elite custom homes that have been built in the valley. It really set the bar for many other communities like McDonald Highlands and the Summit coming up, etc. Now currently, there are 17 homes on the market in the Ridges, 5 under contract, and in 2023 they sold a whopping 48 homes, from $1.627 million to $15,950,000. Yeah, you heard that right, over $15 million. What makes the Ridges so popular, they have quite a variety of product, from townhomes to some production homes, single-story production homes, and then up into the custom ranges, where they've actually divided the Ridges into separate enclaves, separate little communities like Promontory, which was one of the original, all the way to Azure, which is one of the newer communities, and 𝗥𝗔𝗥, which is an all single-story half-acre offering. These homes, as you can see through time, have definitely elevated in price point, as attested by the $15 million price point that you're seeing. And the location of it is nestled right between Red Rock Country Club and between a new community called the Summit by Discovery Land. Now, what I would also like to share with you about the Ridges, it does have tennis courts. They built a new pickleball facility, a new clubhouse, but each of these custom home communities have their own kind of identity. Most of them kind of look down towards the valley, and there's quite an elevation drop from the top of the Ridges down towards the valley, so it overlooks. Some of them have some great views of the Strip or the mountains, but really the homes are cutting edge in terms of their architecture. Now, with a community of 920 homes selling almost 50 sales last year, that's quite a bit of activity. That's about 5%, give or take, absorption rate, 5 or 6%. And in contrast, many of the other communities in Summerlin sell maybe a 2 to 3% absorption rate or turnover. So what does that tell you? That just tells you that if you're looking for a modern home in that price point, the Ridges is definitely a go-to community. Over the years, Ridges have been home to many of the A-listers, celebrities, sports figures in town. And so therefore, it just attracts so many of the upper-end buyers that are coming to Las Vegas. The Summit truly represents the pinnacle of luxury living in Las Vegas. The Summit is built by Discovery Land. It has 147 custom home sites at this time, plus about 100, give or take, build product that includes condos and townhomes. Now, where are the prices at the Summit? It's pretty shocking to say that the condos start 1,600 square feet-ish, somewhere in that area, around $7 million. The townhomes, which are 3,200 square feet and up, they're starting around $10 million and up. So the custom home sites, just the lot alone, you're talking about $5 to $10 million plus for the piece of dirt before you start building a home. So many of these homes that are being developed now are starting to sell out the other side. And most of those are landing in the $20 million and up range, with many homes that are selling off the market because of the popularity of this community. Now, what makes the Summit so special? It truly is the only elite upscale country club atmosphere in Las Vegas that has total complete amenity package. We're talking about tennis and pickleball courts. We're talking about an 80,000 square foot plus clubhouse with some of the best sushi, personally in my opinion, that there's in the city. You also have a private golf course that has these snack shacks where you go and you can have anything that you want to drink or snack along the way and stop, because, you know, golf can be exhausting, and over 18 holes you got to stop 5 or 6 times. So that's what the Summit has developed. So they also have a lake where they have their own fish that you can go fishing in the lake. They have an outdoor pursuits program where anything lifestyle that you want to imagine, whether you want to hike or you want to go down to the Strip, the Discovery Land Group has learned to curate these special events so that the homeowners can have everything at their fingertips that they would possibly want. Of course, the security is top-notch. 10,000 cameras there. I think they have like the equivalent of the English Secret Service guarding the place. The homes are just massive as well. On 3/4 of an acre, you can build homes that are there. They're probably 10,000 square feet on up now. That's kind of the new norm. And so as you are playing golf on this golf course and you're looking up on the hillside, you can see these amazing mansions that are all contemporary in style. So truly, this is the best of the best that Las Vegas has to offer at this time. The Summit is home to movie stars, celebrities, A-listers, casino owners. I mean, you name it, the who's who of Las Vegas or that is coming to Las Vegas is definitely living in the Summit. So it attracts the uber wealthy in Las Vegas and those that are coming to it. In fact, we proudly say that we have a buyer that has chosen the Summit as their home, and they'll be closing shortly. And what's important to this particular individual is the security. They said that the amenities were super important to them, and they just wanted to live in a place where it had the best of everything. And so the Summit offers that. Now, the Summit is considered the top of the market currently in Las Vegas. But there's a new community that should be giving them a little bit of a run for the money. It's called 𝗖𝗛𝗥. It's 171 home sites offered by Howard Hughes Corporation on 170 acres. So it's about an acre per lot. So The Summit is about 3/4 of an acre, so these are going to be very similar size. And it's going to be at the very highest elevation in the valley that they're going to build, which is Summerlin Parkway, as west as you can go between Summerlin Parkway and Lake Mead. If you draw a line and you go west to the top of the mountain, imagine the views as you turn back towards the city from that elevation. You're going to see the mountains, you're going to see just about everything in the valley, and at nighttime I cannot imagine what the views will be like. Now this community is coming to us in the near future. They're just beginning to take reservations, and there's already been an overwhelming demand. Home sites starting from about 2.5 million to 7 million that they project, and I'm sure it will probably grow from there. It will be divided into separate enclaves. There will probably be 3 different communities. Again, the first offering is, I think, around 40 home sites, and people are actually lining up right now, believe it or not, at that level to try to gain their piece of land. Now, when you're talking about a piece of land that is worth between 2.5 and 7 million, a general rule of thumb that people use when building a home, because people are curious, well, what kind of home do you build on a $5 million lot? The answer is, historically, you would look at building at least 3 to 4 times the value of your home site. Now, is this, are there exceptions? Absolutely. But that would place these homes probably in the 15 to 20 million range on average for the average home site that you see there. So look ahead, maybe in 2 to 3 years, we might have some new record-setting homes. Now that we discussed the future of the $20 million home communities in Las Vegas, let's bring it down to earth a little bit and talk about a luxury community that was built by Toll Brothers. Mesa Ridge is home to 360 homeowners that they've really carved out a niche that for people that want modern living, 18 to 24 foot high ceilings in these homes, single stories ranging from about 3,200 square feet to about 4,000 square feet, and 2 stories ranging from about 4,000 square feet to a little over 5,000 square feet. This is really serving a niche that wants a luxury home that's modern in a guard-gated neighborhood with phenomenal amenities. It has its own clubhouse, fitness center. Again, this enclave sits up against the hill and is just south of the Summit, which we just talked about, that had $20 million plus homes. Mesa Ridge has been one of the hottest production communities that have ever sold in Las Vegas in Summerlin. And to follow it up, the next act is called Ascension. And that's a joint venture between Pulte Homes and Toll Brothers. Toll Brothers is continuing on the success of Mesa Ridge, and they're offering homes that are starting in about the mid ones, but really with your upgrades and your lot premiums, and by the time you put your pool in, you're looking at about $2.5, $3 million is probably the sweet spot for this community. Now, why am I mentioning this? This particular community has barely built its first home, and the whole community is almost entirely reserved. What does that mean? They've taken enough applications and interest for pre-qualification to get them in line to potentially purchase a home. That number actually exceeds the amount of total home sites that they have in their entire community, 175 approximately homes that they'll be built. What does that say? That doesn't necessarily mean that every single person that's on that list is going to buy there, but what it shares with you is the depth of the demand that is occurring there. So if you're looking for, let's say, a future investment, if you look at investment and there's a ton of demand for a product that's being built in the future, a lot of times in order to meet that demand, builders have to raise the prices. So arguably, this could be a great community, not just in terms of investment for Ascension, but there's going to be a relationship, I predict, to Mesa Ridge. And you're already seeing that already because of the popularity and the number of sales that are occurring in Mesa Ridge. And the prices are creeping up as we speak. So as a 25-year resident in Summerlin, I'm not only talking about this to give you an overview, but I've lived and breathed each of these communities and seen the evolution of what custom home and upscale living is like in Summerlin. And from the very first day when I moved here in the 90s and lived in Summerlin and thought, boy, what is going to happen to the future, to this point now where Summerlin is nearing completion, it is delivered on that promise. The communities that I'm sharing with you, there's a niche for every type of upscale buyer in Summerlin. These communities, whether you want more of a traditional kind of architecture and you want more of a green neighborhood, these classic Summerlin communities have delivered a phenomenal lifestyle to those that are seeking that, as well as more of the modern living on the hillside to people that are golf enthusiasts, and the truly elite communities like the Summit and 𝗖𝗛𝗡 that's coming up. Summerlin is going to serve every spectrum along the way for whatever you want. And so if you want more information about these communities and what kind of makes them tick and what the kind of little nuances are and what might be a good match for you, please don't hesitate to give me a call, reach out, subscribe, ask questions. We'd love to hear from you.